There's that echo though. Is that me or is that you?
You said you hear an echo because I don't hear an echo. You're
Okay.
hearing an echo?
Hello, hello. Yeah, I'm hearing an echo.
It's probably because of your phone because you're sometimes the smartphones will do that. But what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll plug in my headphones and I'll see if that helps you.
Okay.
Welcome to the Walla Way. Coach Imran Nalawala here, joined once again by Mr. Ahmed Mutawa. Ahmed, I
What
don't know
up,
if I
Coach?
should buy you a gift. I don't know if I should take you to Disneyland, brother. I'm not sure. Not sure what
Hey,
we.
come on now. You gotta take me to a game.
I gotta take you to the game. Oh, that might be more difficult than taking you to Disneyland,
That's gonna
brother.
be a house payment.
I think this is the promised land that was a potential if we go back 2 months ago that we discussed, right? That there is a slim opportunity, not slim, but we said there's an opportunity for these guys to make it, depending on circumstances and how things fall. So, how excited are you for this game one tip off?
Super excited. 'Cause the reason why I'm so excited is like this is a very like I mean me and you have shared opinions about the Boston Celtics about like how they're very like suspicious and they're very beatable. So going against the finals, knowing that my team has a chance to win is I can't complain. No one expected us to be here anyway.
With 1 week off for Luca, right? With 1 week off
Oh
to
yeah, for him getting
recover the best
healthier,
he can.
for sure, for sure.
People are like they don't know if it's Ozempic or if it's his haircut, but he looks healthier. He looks slimmer. I don't know if you saw that.
Nah, this that's funny.
uh, yeah, man. So I think this is kind of what we envisioned was a possibility, and here we are. And the Mavs, everyone's people have been talking about the Celtics, right? Because again, they swept the Pacers. But if you look at the details, right, and they barely swept this Pacers team. They were losing three of those games, going down a couple minutes left of each game, and two or three of those games were without their star player, right? The Indiana Pacers did not have Halliburton,
Mm.
so. I personally look at the Celtics season as a struggle based on how much talent they have. They also struggled against, to some extent, the Cavaliers, even though they put them away. Did the Cavs win 1 or 2 games?
One.
Even then, I think they should have swept them, and then even with the Heat, they should have swept them. So there's things about the Celtics, obviously, that I'm not happy with in terms of them being a consistent team, but they're very beatable. That's a very good thing for a Dallas Mavericks fan. What do you see, man? What are you excited about this being game one, the hype of the NBA Finals, all the media coverage, et cetera, et cetera? What are some of the storylines you're following?
I think this game's gonna come down to like which role players can outperform which role player. Because we know Kyrie and Luca and Tatum and Brown, they're gonna give you what they're gonna give you for the
Mm.
most part. Especially Luca and Kyrie, you're pretty much consistent, 55 to 60 points a night. Tatum can have a stinker, but I feel like he's mature enough to like when he's not feeling it, and he sees someone else going off, he'll kind of back off and let him go. But I think it'll just come down to is KP fully healthy, and can we guard him on the perimeter with our bigs? Because Porzingis is going to bring out a lot of the bigs. Gafford and Lively won't be in the paint because they can stretch the floor so good. So game one's going to be interesting to see how J Kidd has that game plan.
Yeah, I think Porzingis definitely he's missed I think all the postseason. Did he play any game in round
I
one,
think he
one game
played in
one, or
that
no?
first round.
I don't think he played the whole round though. I think he played like a game or two.
Yeah, yeah, I'm saying he got hurt in the first round.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
think again, legitimate opportunity for him to be an X factor, especially since they've got in here without him essentially. Um, But like you're right, if he's on the perimeter and he's stroking it, are they gonna get Jones Jr. to rotate over? Are they gonna throw one of the bigs at him? I think depending on what Porzingis you see, the Mavs will definitely be uh, what do you call it, recovering or making adjustments. However, again, he's missed 3 series, right? He's missed about a month and a half to 2 months of play, and he's also going to be a liability in that sense, right? Where he's going to have to get reacclimated, and then also defensively, he's going to have to guard one of these guys. I'm sure the Mavs are going to try to get him in switches with Kyrie and Luca, and then
yeah.
even for like if Derek Jones and all these guys are out there to take, I'm sure that they're going to try to take Porzingis off the dribble, even though he's long and once upon a time was a top tier athlete for his position and whatnot. But It's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be
I
interesting.
think
I'm
I
very
think for
excited.
the I think the Mavericks will look to put him in a lot of their actions just to see, like, coming off a calf injury. You've been coaching for a long time. You know how
Oh,
calf injuries are. Anything sudden, anything unexpected, any click up, click down, click left, click right, it could go like that again. So like a calf, hamstring, all those muscle injuries aren't they're nothing they're, they're nothing to play with. So I think
for
they'll
two
look to
months,
him.
man. He's been gone for a long time.
Yeah,
I
that's
I,
true.
I expect him to be nearly 100% by now. I don't think they're gonna just. I mean, of course, this would be the time to risk it and come out and play because you're playing for all the marbles, as they say. But at the same time, homeboys missed 6 to 7 weeks at least, right? So
Yeah,
I don't I don't know how much more they could rest him, but I agree with that. I think if they come out and they test him early, but that's also going to show them, right? Like what who is it that you're dealing with, and what type of adjustments are you going to have to make? I think maybe if he gets going, we might see more lineups where we have Lively and Gafford out there together, or let's not forget Maxi's back, right?
yeah,
Is Maxi going to get more run? Is Maxi going to try to be that like counter to what this guy's doing, Porzingis is doing? So it's going to be interesting.
yeah. The thing is, I say about the Mavericks is that, like, yeah, we won't have a big in the paint, but it's not like our bigs are like Nurkic, or like they're not like they're very top tier athletes for their position.
Yeah.
So they can
Yep.
move their feet with Porzingis if that's what they want to do, is spread them out. So they'll be looking to switch everything. And honestly, J Kid likes to switch everything. I'm not a big fan of it, but I think they could do it. I think they'll hold their own.
Well, it's today's league, man. Having 4 or 5 guys out there that can switch, right? You see a lot of defenses, like you said, they switch everything and then they recover at some point. But I think Porzingis is going to be most effective or most dangerous if that outside shot starts falling.
For sure.
That's where we got to start being a little bit careful, right? Because it's not just about the switch. It's if the guys have to make a hard closeout at the end to contest that shot. That's where even with a long offensive rebound, your guys are kind of spread out. You guys are all over the place. That gives more opportunities for offensive rebounding. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. But again, man, I'm in general I'm feeling good. Even though people want to say this is the best starting 4 or 5, the Boston Celtics, what they have. I love what the Mavericks have right now, as we've discussed. I love what Gafford and Lively have been doing. I love the fact that Maxi's back. I love that Luka's had a week off. I love that Kyrie's back in the finals. I think this is going to be exciting, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I just got a quick question. Like, it's going over the series. Like, who do you think this series has like the most to gain and most to lose?
Individual player team.
Individual player.
Well, from the Celtics, it has to be Tatum, because Brown has eclipsed him to some extent recently, and there's been a lot of this Brown hating going on. I don't know if did you see the video I made
Yeah,
about?
I was gonna ask you if you wanted to get into that, so you
Yeah,
could
we can.
so you could
Yeah,
educate me, because I'm not too fond of this topic. So if you want to go ahead and hear
yeah.
me
I
out.
think look, Brown is someone definitely that's had a target on his back since he's entered the league. Anytime you get a African American athlete, and the first thing that you point out is how smart or articulate they are, right? That's a very interesting take to have, or how educated they are. So Brown has always been pointed out as this like smart, super articulate, very intelligent athlete who had offers from MIT and had was part of the
Yeah,
NASA internship program and all these type of things. So great. I think that those are excellent things. I think that shows you. For me, I'm like, what was it? What were his mom and dad doing to get this guy
yeah, for
grounded
sure.
as a as
My
an
uncle was
athlete?
telling me that the other day. I was like, I did not know he was like that
Oh yeah,
level
yeah.
smart. I didn't know
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He's trying to revive Black Wall Street in Boston. That was one of his goals. No, I'm serious. No, no, I mean, seriously. So with Brown, and then when this news came out a couple weeks ago that from Stephen A. Smith that players don't really like him or whatever it is, and then you saw the guys on Gil's Arena talking about it, saying that he's not liked because he comes off as like maybe cocky or arrogant or he's better than you type of a thing. For me, the first thing that obviously as Muslims, I grew up with non-Muslims. I grew up going to non-Muslim schools my whole life. I never went to Islamic school. So I kind of understood that because I was like, oh, I remember when I started practicing. Not all, but some of my friends were like, oh, you think you're better than us, or you're too good for us because you don't do X, Y, Z, da 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 da. So I wonder how many of these guys, just because, look, let's be honest, NBA players live a certain type of lifestyle. They have a certain amount. There's this funny Yao Ming joke I saw the other day. I've never heard it before. And I'm a basketball connoisseur, but they were talking. It was like Shane Battier, or it was somebody, one of these like traditional players, Grant Hill, Shane Battier, someone, And they were like, when we found out like Yao could speak English, but one day Yao comes up to us in practice, he's like, I'm having party. Bring your wives, bring your girlfriends, don't bring both. And then like he said, like the people just started like busting up laughing, right? So the NBA has its reputation in terms of what these guys get into. They go to strip clubs, they go to nightclubs, they're partying, they're drinking, they're smoking, they're spending money, they're getting jewelry. It's not necessarily like guys who are really going out there in society and trying to change things. You have some of these guys. You have some of these guys. So Jaylen Brown, the fact that he's not from the old school, he's a younger guy, and he's like this, I'm sure that already paints an X on his back. Number two, that probably alienates him from his teammates to some extent. But now, most importantly, he was always looked at the B as the B side to Jason Tatum's A side. People always said, okay, Tatum's the A, this guy's the B, Batman, Robin. But what you've seen is, look, number one, the Celtics, even though they're young, they've had several opportunities over all these years and they've never gotten it done, right? They made it to the finals once, but they never got it done. And now they're back there, but the last couple rounds, their closer has been Jaylen Brown, right? So I think Jaylen doesn't have much pressure on him, man. He's been doing it for the whole playoffs. It's really time for now Tatum to pick up the mantle and show that hey, I am the A side, I am the max player, I am the guy who's the leader of this team. So I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
I agree. I agree with everything you said. I think I think that because the media wants to push, let's say, a black American athlete, that he's gonna have more to lose than a player that they don't really care for anyway. So no one's gonna really fault for Jason because Jaylen Brown's gonna play good. Jaylen Brown's gonna get you 20 to 25. He's a consistent 20 to 25 player. That's just what he is. He's gonna do that. He's gonna do that every night. And on top of that, they don't care for him as a person. No matter what your views are about him, they don't care for him. That's just how that's how it goes. There's players. You've been around basketball for a long time. There's been players that have gotten unfair judgments, like Jaylen Brown is getting. I don't know. It's gonna be.
It's
I don't
it's
know.
gonna be interesting.
I
And
really
and then on the Maverick side, man, it could be anybody, right? Like if you want to look at a redemption story arc for Kyrie Irving, you could look at this finals as that. It's happening in Boston. It's happening after all the COVID thing and the film controversy, etc. So I think Kyrie has a great opportunity right now just to be the most consistent player, even if he doesn't win Finals MVP, but to be the most consistent player on the floor and really show people, hey, like, hey, this is who I am. Luka has that opportunity to cement his legacy, even though he's still young. But Luka's like, all right, you went to a couple Western Conference finals in a row, or in your young career, and now you've made it to the finals when people were not really expecting you to be there, and you have the opportunity to close this series out like you closed out the last series, which was just taking over in the last quarter and taking over in the last part of that fourth quarter and getting buckets. So Luka has an opportunity, Kyrie has an opportunity, but at the same time, man, look at Lively, the rookie. Lively could have such a huge impact this series. Gafford came over from Washington. Gafford could have such an impact this series. Um, I think there's so many opportunities here, man, for a lot of these guys to make some money during these finals, to have a huge impact. But in terms of most to lose, you can only put it on the leaders, bro. It's either going to be Kyrie, Luka, or to some extent Jason Kidd.
mm. I think if the Mavs win, they have the most to rewrite basketball history. If that makes sense. If that makes sense what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
let me hear it.
So like, just say Kyrie wins, right? The the discussion begins. I think if they do, I'm on this boat that if he wins this, he's the best Robin in NBA history. Robin, as
Sure.
in he's never
Yeah.
won as the top guy and he's the second best player. Like D Wade's won it by himself. Steph's won it by himself. I'm not talking about those kind of guys. I'm talking about guys strictly they were the second best player on their team. He was the best at it. And he's in a lot of people's eyes already the most skilled player ever. And Luka, you start having the best Euro player ever. I think that's a little too early still. And we always talk about this. I think we've talked about it before that sports is a copycat league no matter what sport you play. So following this year, you see instead of both of these teams actually they don't have a big three for the last 6 to 7 years, everyone was searching for. I need a big three. I need a big three. I need a big a guard and a wing. I need a wing and a wing. I need a guard, wing, and a wing. I think that'll start to change, and teams will start looking at, man, let me get two guys that play different positions that complement each other very well, and let me get role players that know their role players and are going to play very good for half the price. So I think that will do a lot, and you'll see a lot of people. I don't want everyone to see this year's draft. You'll see a lot of people getting drafted that you never heard of, that are 6'8" European and that can handle the ball. You'll see at least 3 of them.
You saw who is it that has a partially torn ACL?
Who?
One of the draft prospects.
Partially torn ACL. Was it Castle?
Draft give me 1 second. Prospect torn ACL. It is Nikola Topic.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's supposed to be like a
Nikola,
top 5 pick.
Say again?
Supposed to be like a top 5, top 10 pick.
Yeah, so let's see what happens over there, man. Like it's gonna be interesting to see how it works out. But like I said, man, I think it's interesting because a lot of pundits are actually picking the Mavericks to win, which I like because I think people are understanding like how this team is built, the energy they play with, and just the benefits of chemistry, the benefits of catching. Like we remember what we talked about before the playoffs started, where like the Mavericks got hot at the right time, right? They're gonna be riding this hot streak into the playoffs,
Yeah.
and it's no different right now, man. You just respectfully you decimated the Wolves. And that last game, you were really, bro. They were beating these guys by like 30 to 40 points at different
Legendary.
aspects of the game.
Legendary.
Right? So in terms of putting your foot down on a top tier, let's be honest. Everybody was already declaring Anthony Edwards as Michael Jordan's heir apparent. People were talking about how the Timberwolves have finally made it, and you saw Kyrie and Luka went out there with a purpose, man. They took care of these guys.
Yeah, we said it before the playoffs. Ant's a good
Yep.
player. Let's just calm down a little bit. Let's calm down.
You said that. I remember. Yeah.
Come on now. I don't know. It's gonna be. I think the. I'm just thinking like, man, like the Celtics. They've been. We said it again a couple of episodes back that. How many times are you gonna go to the wedding and you're not the one getting married?
Exactly.
So they have the experience. Everyone on their teams played in the finals, pretty much except White and Porzingis. The Missoula didn't coach them in the finals.
No.
That was Ime, right?
Udoka.
Yeah. So really on the Mavericks, you really just have Kyrie and J Kidd, and to me, the Euro League atmosphere in the championship game is nothing comparable to what it is here. It's much more intense. So I think Luka's qualified as a experienced big game player.
No. I'm not worried about Luka, man. As long as Luka's healthy enough in terms of like nerves and pressure, I got zero fear. I do have some recognition that they're in Boston and Boston has its reputation, right? So that's going to be interesting in terms of, but again, these are professional players, man. They made it through 3 tough rounds. It's not like these guys are completely unprepared or anything. But I'm also cognizant of the fact that the Boston Celtics definitely feel pressure. The Celtics understand, like, hey, man, there's some expectations here, and if we can't get this done, this hurts us long term. But the thing that I'm also cognizant of is this dynamic between Brown and Tatum. Like I personally, and I mentioned it to a few others, when the Celtics won and they had their celebration and their trophy ceremony, and they gave the trophy to Jalen, I noticed some like bad blood, bad energy coming from Tatum. That's just my opinion. Did you not pick up on that?
No, not really. Maybe I have to go watch it back and specifically look at that, maybe.
Let me see if I can.
But maybe if you could share your screen and show the video.
Yeah. Let's see if I can find it, brother. Give me 1 second. Let's go to the jumbotron. You ever used to watch wrestling or no?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, this is gonna be Jaylen Brown trophy. Okay, I think here it is. Let me see if this is the full one or not. Give me 1 second, brother. Let me share my screen. All right, let's present. Share screen. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Again, this is me just reading into things. So we're not obviously listening to anything here. Let's look up at who's up front and center, who's off to the side. Let's kind of just ascertain what we can, and then decipher what we can. So okay, he's up here. They just announced him. Got people congratulating him. For me again, bro, I'm old school, man. If you're the leader of, oh, okay, we got Tatum back there. Okay, I didn't see that last time. He's kind of off to the corner a little bit. Maybe I'm reading into it. I heard from some others they kind of picked up on the same thing. I personally like it, bro. I don't like. He's like all the way back here. I guess where else could he be? Let's finish it and then you can
Yeah, it's
add
not a
in.
good look. It's not a good look.
Yeah, if I feel
I
like maybe
wouldn't read
I
too much
thought
into it.
here, just give it 1 second. Let's see. I vaguely remember something at the end. I vaguely remember something at the end. Let's see if it comes up. Yeah, maybe I looked too much into it. Yeah, so no problem. No problem. Yeah, we'll see.
I think Tatum could be frustrated, not as in a resentment to Tatum or to Brown. I think it would be more as a like,
On
I'm the
performance.
best player on this team, and I played pretty good. I
Mm,
still averaged 30.
mm,
So maybe he's feeling like a little media unfairness, but
mm.
Jalen Brown's been feeling that his whole career.
But the media
So
loving Jalen Brown more than they like Tatum. I
I
don't
don't
know,
know.
bro.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you got, man? Give me your predictions for today and for the series.
Today I got us today for sure. I mean, I don't want to sound
Okay.
too confident, and then we just go out and get smacked, but I think we'll win this game. We're coming off less rust. We played like we had like 3 less days of rest, which honestly could be a good thing. I think too much rest is not a good thing. So I think we'll win this game. We'll lose next game. We'll win 2 at home. I want to close it out there, and then we win game 5. But I don't know. It's 5 or 6 for me. Dallas.
5. Wow.
I'm a slide 6. That's kind of disrespectful. I'm gonna go
I mean,
6.
hey, man, you said these guys were going to sweep the last round, and you were almost right. So I gotta give you credit where credit is due, man.
I think it's a little different beast, but
Yeah, yeah,
I'll go 6. I'll go 6.
yeah. I think 6 games, man. I think 6 games. We'll see how adjustments and all that play. But I'm going with the Mavericks tonight, and then overall, I'll just say the Mavericks in 6, and that potential of a game 7. But I hope not. And but if it is, wow, how amazing would that be?
That'd be
You got
awesome.
two of you got two of Jordan Brand's biggest stars going at it, Tatum and Luka.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. I feel like I might be
But
having a little bias because I'm a Mavs fan and Luke is my favorite player, but do you see any like GOAT replications or comparisons with Luca?
GOAT?
Like any Jordan aspects that you see in him, any LeBron aspects that you see in him?
Um, Look, that's a great question, man.
Because I feel like, in my opinion, it's kind of a bias. I mean, I don't. To me, it's not bias. Obviously, your own opinion is your own opinion, but to me, he has a mix of pretty much every great player that's touched a basketball. And the fact that like Jordan took the littlest thing and made it into a big thing and made it personal, and that was his fuel. Saw Luka game 5 with the handkerchief. He took that personal, went crazy.
I remember that.
And as like in LeBron's way, like he's gonna make the right play 10 times out of 10. And if we lose making the right play every time, so be it.
In terms of clutchness and
And
killer
clutch
mentality, in terms of that, yeah. But the thing that will, in my opinion, hurt him overall is his lack of defensive prowess, right?
for
Like
sure.
because he is a liability on defense, and even though he's improved in a couple games and moments, I think that's always going to hurt him in the look. Now, let's say he rolls out 6 or 7 NBA championships. That's a different story, right? Then you have to still consider him in that conversation because of what he's done. But
Yeah.
ultimately, if he only gets a couple, yeah, I mean, I think he should be in a conversation for it because of how effective he was from like his rookie season and how young he was and how much he was being able to do. But remember, like that's only one side of the floor, even though he's a master on that side of the floor. It goes back to that whole Steve Nash argument that Shaquille O'Neal always makes, right? About two MVPs and da 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 da. So I love Luka. I think Luka's fantastic. His footwork, his IQ, his cerebral nature. In terms of the GOAT thing, he could, depending on how his career finishes, he could be up there at some point. But the top guy, I don't know.
I wasn't trying to say that he's like a top 5 player if he wins his ring. I was just saying like, do you see like aspects of Jordan LeBron in him?
Yeah, sure, of course. He's got a killer mentality, man. That's what he did to the Timberwolves, right? He put his foot on the gas pedal, he put his foot on their throat, and he went after them. He started off that game 5. He knew what the importance of that game 5 was, and that's how he came out, right? So like big players understand big moments and they make big time plays, right? Like they play big. So Luka is from that breed. He's cut from that cloth. And yeah, I think there's absolutely no question about it, right? For me, the thing about Luka is going to be things like, I don't know if you saw that clip after they won and he's drinking that beer with his dad and Michael Finley came up to him and took
Yeah,
away the beer. It's going to be things like that, man. How serious do you take the off season? How much are you working out? What are you
yeah,
doing to
that's
stay
always
in
gonna be
shape, get into
his.
great shape?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
You're
never
only
gonna
going to
look
be
like
able,
LeBron,
yeah, but
but he
again, I
just
don't think
can't
he
look
needs to.
fat.
Yeah, you can't look fat. You can't look like a lumberjack, bro. You
Yeah,
can't look like you just came out of chopping wood in the forest and,
yeah,
you're coming to eat your pancakes and your, whatever it is.
for sure. I think Olympics this year will help him. Hopefully, hopefully it doesn't look as the
Sometimes
Olympics as in I get to go crazier on my off day after the Olympics.
I hope he doesn't play much in them. I really like sometimes, man, like when these guys get good, I want them to take like summers off.
Yeah, but he's kind of like their only guy though.
He's not gonna
So
he's not gonna
he,
take it off. I
he
know, right?
can't. He can't.
Yeah, yeah, he's not gonna take it off. But no, no, this is what you would wish. This is what I would always wish for Parker and Ginobili every summer. I'm like, oh, come on, just don't play one summer, don't play one summer.
Yeah,
And then
take
these
a
guys
take.
wind, Ginobili winds up getting hurt in the Olympics, and so
Yeah,
no,
it's a risk.
it's exciting, man. Go ahead.
What? I was just saying, it's just a risk. But
It's a risk. Oh yeah.
other countries value it more than the U.S. does.
Oh no, it's pride, bro. It's
It's
pride,
like a
especially when
yeah,
you
it's an
get.
obligation.
I don't know if you know, but the Cricket World Cup is here.
Yeah, yeah. I saw in your story.
Yeah, so today my friend is there, which is this is like I don't know how to explain this to you. Team USA, which is not ranked, they're not good. They beat Pakistan today. So yeah, yeah, in like what you would call like triple overtime, like in cricket standards or something.
Was it like a
So
crazy? Is that like a crazy upset?
oh that would like that never happens. Like never happens. That never happens. Like
Does cricket they go series or is it just one game?
there's both. So this is called like 2020 cricket. So this is like their fast version of cricket because cricket otherwise can be really long and last for days. So this
Hmm.
cricket is like one single day cricket that can just finish quickly. And now what I like is they've kind of introduced like a pitcher's count type of thing. So they call them bowlers. Those guys have to bowl faster. So I went that day, man. I don't really watch cricket, but it was exciting, man. The ambiance, the atmosphere, even the competition. I wish I would have seen this game because like when I say this never happens, it's the equivalent of like USA losing to
Serbia.
um, say who?
They lose to like Greece or something.
Not even Greece, man. Greece got some pedigree. Like it's like a country that just started playing basketball like 15 years ago or something.
Like
Like
Mexico or
I don't
something.
know.
Oh,
It's like America losing to India or Pakistan. Let's just flip it around or something.
yeah.
So so it's not something that was supposed to happen.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was like that. I just saw
Mm,
that you were at the game. I knew there was a game going. I didn't know we won, but that's kind of
it's
crazy.
exciting, man. The atmosphere was exciting. The good thing about cricket, what I noticed just from going to this is my first game ever. The atmosphere is not as contentious as like American sports like hockey, football, or basketball, where like people are getting rowdy in the stands. People are just kind of like chilling, doing the wave, enjoying what they're eating,
Like
chatting
a
it up. It was a nice atmosphere.
golf or like a baseball atmosphere.
Yeah, man, it was more festive than baseball. It wasn't just people like sitting drinking and just watching. No, people were like festive and moving and it was exciting. It was exciting. I liked it. I
Huh.
liked it for America. I really hope that America gets better at cricket and they take this very seriously. But it was a good look. the entire stadium was like international, bro. You had like people from all over. You
Oh,
had
that's
like
awesome.
Africans and Indo-Pacs and like white Americans, white Canadians. You had some Hispanic people there. It was a great look. It was a
That's
great look for the
dope.
sport.
That's
Yeah,
dope.
man.
What did I
But
send you the other day? And you were like, we could talk about that?
I don't know. What did you send me? Let me look. You sent it in my normal text?
I don't remember. I might have sent it to you on Instagram.
Let me see.
Maybe. I
Uh,
actually don't remember.
you might have sent it to me on Instagram. Let me check real quick.
I think it was Instagram.
Let me check Mr. Matobo. Ahmed Mutt. Oh, you can hear, right?
No.
Don't tell me this is
Oh,
the
because you
music
have on your
list.
headphones. That's why.
Yeah, but I hope they
Is it
didn't
not
switch
connected
over
to your
my
headphone
microphone,
mic?
man.
I don't
Hello,
know.
hello. Okay,
I hear you. I just couldn't hear the video.
that's interesting. Is my audio? What just happened?
Is it?
How's my audio now?
It's different.
Is it sound better or worse?
Worse.
Worse?
Yeah.
What is going on? I got this rig and the setup and this guy. And now it's back to normal?
Yeah.
That's garbage. So it was about that generational talent.
Oh, yeah. That was crazy.
So you disagree with them.
1,000%.
Talk to me.
How? Okay. I disagree 1,000%, but I knew where he was going, which like didn't make sense at all. He was trying to say a generational talent, or he was basically implying that you have to be you have to be built. You either have to be built like no one else, or I forgot what, or I think he was just trying to say a generational talent is a generational prospect.
Yeah,
He's
it's
basically saying like
official.
you can't earn like a generational like talent. I think
Yeah.
that's what
So
I felt like he was trying to say.
generational talent means like when I looked it up right now, which makes sense. It's like a talent that comes around once in a lifetime, like
Yeah.
once in a generation. So it's like a super rare commodity, super rare type of talent. So
So you're telling
I
me
I
someone's gonna shoot like Steph again,
I mean,
or
I
someone
had this
has?
conversation with someone yesterday, bro. Someone was saying that they thought Reggie Miller was a better shooter than Steph. It's just that Steph
Come
it's just
on.
Steph had a better dribble package. So Steph is one of those like he could get off his own shot, which is a plus. It's not something that harms him in any way. It's a proof for his overall talent and whatnot. I kind of got their point. I'm gonna be honest. I was in the middle where I'm like, no, Steph is super specialized, and I could see why people would consider him a generational talent. But if you look at it from the perspective of like 6'3", 6'4", quick but not the quickest, fast but not the fastest, IQ is up there, and of course the outside shooting is up there. But I got it from the sense like I think the way these guys are looking at generational talent, they're thinking like Shaq,
Yeah, I feel like they're just thinking
LeBron.
size and athleticism.
Yeah, I think they're looking at it like maybe dominance or like a guy like Wemby who's just so strange that this is just a new type of player, new way of playing. But there's no
Yeah,
question that Steph changed the way the NBA is and the way people play and the way kids play and etc. I think maybe we should go into this next episode because I really have to think about this some more. Like
yeah,
I'm
for sure.
not saying he's not and I'm not saying he is.
But I'm saying I can't teach you to be 6'10". That's not a talent. That's what God
That's a good
gave
point.
you.
But that's why it's also generational. Maybe that's where the generational component of it comes, where it's just like it's not something that you can necessarily even earn. It's something like this is like a rare commodity. It comes along once in a while. It's like a unicorn. It's like a Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I don't know.
I think that stuff's
Again,
taught
I'm not
though.
saying he's not. Huh?
I feel like that stuff's taught because there's 6'9" guys everywhere, but not all 6'9" guys can take 2 steps and do a Euro step like Giannis. He taught him stuff footwork. Everyone has footwork, or everyone can have footwork
Is
if you put your mind to it.
Steph Curry a generational? Let's just see what good old Google says. Man, I love to. Time will ultimately reveal the significance of Curry in their eras and the legacy they will leave behind.
Oh, can I add one more thing?
Go ahead.
I also
Go ahead.
consider generational talent as a player that's changed the game.
Yeah, so from that perspective, there's no question, right? Steph has changed the way
Steph has changed
play.
basketball.
Oh yeah,
You're coaching little kids. They probably want to shoot half courts from their waist because of Steph Curry. They don't want to get to the basket anymore.
there's no question that he has changed the game for the NBA. He has changed the game for children, for youth basketball. He has changed again. He's probably one of their most marketable players over the last 10, 12 years, right? In terms of the jerseys and whatnot that sell. And I mean, bro, I told you this all the time. You've probably seen it. Who doesn't try to do the step back three? Who doesn't try to, you know, off the dribble, step back, pull up, and just fade and turn around before the shot's even falling down? And so from that regard, there's no question, man. He's absolutely changed things. Yeah, maybe he is a generational talent. But again, like I said, maybe the way they perceived the question was more from like you said, size, athleticism, dominance perspective. I don't know. I'll probably have to finish watching that clip again, just or maybe find the original clip and watch all of it. But I get your point.
I just want to know his criteria because you'd probably say someone like D Wade is a generational talent, but we've seen 1,000 D Wades.
Yeah, I love Dwayne Wade. He's a Chicago boy, but I don't think he's generational.
Yeah, we've seen 100 D Wades.
Yeah, I think he had a killer instinct, which is absolutely true. One of the better killer instincts when he was in his prime. But yeah, I don't think he's generational.
I agree with that.
Bismillah, brother. That's a great episode, man. Anything else you want to wrap on?
No, I'm good. Is anything else you wanna
No,
discuss? I got
I'm good,
time.
bro.
All good.
Guys, thank you for joining in. We'll see y'all next time.